My name is Claire Thompson, and if I'm honest, I ruined my marriage in one careless, drunken night. It was at my friend Lily's birthday party in Austin, Texas. The music was loud, the drinks kept flowing, and I laughed louder than I had in weeks. I had been stressed from work, overwhelmed by life, and honestly, though I didn't realize it at the time, I was taking my husband, Michael, for granted. Somewhere between my third and fourth glass of wine, the conversation turned to relationships. Friends were joking about their partners' quirks, laughing at stories, sharing secrets. And then, without thinking, I blurted out the words that would change everything. I don't think I'm even attracted to Michael anymore. The table went silent. Someone laughed nervously, assuming I was joking, but the problem was I wasn't. At least not in that moment. And worst of all, Michael was standing behind me. When I turned around, he was there, holding my coat in his hand, his face pale, his jaw tight. He didn't say a word. He just set the coat on a chair and walked out of the restaurant. I tried to follow him, but he had already left. My friends stared at me with wide eyes, whispering things like, "Claire, what did you just do? And you didn't mean that, right?" But the truth was complicated. It wasn't that I didn't love Michael. It wasn't even that I wasn't attracted to him. It was that years of routine, stress, and unspoken frustrations had dulled my feelings. And instead of talking to him about it, I'd buried it, until it spilled out in the worst way possible. When I got home that night, the bedroom was empty. He slept on the couch. And in the morning, he was gone. I woke up with a pounding headache, my heart sinking as soon as I realized what had happened. On the kitchen counter was a note. "Claire, I heard you. I don't know if you meant it or not, but I can't stay here pretending everything's fine. I need space. Don't call me. Michael." I dropped the note, tears burning my eyes. My hands trembled as I dialed his number, but he didn't answer. I texted. No reply. Days turned into weeks. He didn't come home. He stayed with his brother across town. And the silence was worse than any argument. While he was gone, I couldn't stop replaying our memories. I remembered our first date at a small diner where he spilled coffee on his shirt and turned it into a joke that made me laugh until I cried. I remembered how he drove 4 hours in the middle of the night just to bring me soup when I was sick in college. I remembered our wedding, standing under strings of lights in my parents' backyard, where he vowed to love me through everything. And now I had destroyed it with one drunken sentence. One night, I stood in front of the mirror and really looked at myself. Why had I said it? Why had I told my friends I wasn't attracted to him anymore? The answer hit me hard. It wasn't about Michael. It was about me. I had let stress, insecurity, and comparison cloud my love for him. Instead of communicating, I bottled everything up until it twisted into something ugly. Michael wasn't perfect, but he never stopped trying. He worked long hours to provide for us, cooked dinner when I came home late, and always asked how my day was, even when I brushed him off. And I had thrown it back in his face. After 6 weeks, Michael finally came back. I heard the front door open one Saturday afternoon. My heart raced as he walked in, carrying a duffel bag. He looked tired, older somehow, but his eyes were steady. "Claire," he said quietly, "we need to talk." I nodded, too choked up to speak. We sat at the kitchen table, the same one where we'd eaten countless meals together. He took a deep breath. "Do you really feel that way? That you're not attracted to me anymore?" Tears spilled down my cheeks. "Michael, no. I was drunk, and I was stupid. I didn't mean it the way it sounded." "Then what did you mean?" he pressed. And so, for the first time in years, I told him the truth. That I felt overwhelmed, that routine had numbed us, that I missed the spark we once had but didn't know how to ask for it. He listened quietly, his face unreadable. When I finished, he leaned back in his chair and sighed. "I wish you had told me this before telling everyone else." The words cut deep, but they were true. That night, Michael didn't yell. He didn't throw things. He didn't even cry. Instead, he made a decision. "I'm not leaving you, Claire," he said, his voice steady. "But things can't go back to the way they were. We either work on this together, or we let go." I grabbed his hand, sobbing. "I want to work on it. Please, Michael. I don't want to lose you." He nodded. "Then prove it. Not with words. with actions. The months that followed weren't easy. We went to marriage counseling every Thursday evening. At first, it was awkward, sitting in a stranger's office, admitting our failures out loud. But little by little, walls came down. Michael admitted he had felt unappreciated for years. He said he often wondered if I even noticed the small things he did for me. I admitted that I had been comparing our marriage to others, forgetting that love isn't about grand gestures but about consistency and care. We started scheduling date nights again. No phones, no distractions, just us. We cooked meals together, took walks, and even joined a salsa dance class, which was more hilarious than romantic, but it reminded us how to laugh again. Slowly, the spark returned. One morning, about 6 months after that awful night, I woke up to the smell of coffee. Michael was in the kitchen, humming as he poured me a cup. When I walked in, he smiled. Really smiled, the way he used to when we first fell in love. And in that moment, something inside me shifted. The attraction I thought I had lost came rushing back. Because I finally saw him again, not as the man I had unfairly criticized, but as the man who never gave up on us, even when I gave him every reason to. I wrapped my arms around him and whispered, "I love you," more than ever. He kissed the top of my head and said, "This is what I was waiting for." It's been 3 years since that night, and I still regret the words I said. But in a strange way, I'm also grateful. Because they forced us to face the cracks we had been ignoring. Michael and I aren't perfect. We still argue, still have days where we frustrate each other. But now we talk, we listen, and we never take our love for granted. And I share this story because I want others to understand. Words can destroy, but they can also rebuild. Attraction isn't about flawless appearances or constant excitement. It's about choosing each other, every day, through the mundane, the messy, and the hard. That night I thought I'd lost everything. But when I woke up, Michael gave me something far more valuable, a second chance. And I will never waste it again.